Good morning you guys, it's Karen and I wanted to talk to you about some products by, I think Deciem is the company and this is called the Ordinary range. I believe that's the way it works. I got mine from Victoria Health. I ordered 4 items, I've actually only got 3 items and I was going to wait until I got the 4th item to do the review, but I'm told it's not in until the end of the month, which is another week and a half away, and then it'll take a week to get to me and then I'll need to use it for a week, so it could be nearly a month until I'm ready to review it. So I thought, you know what, I'll review these 3 for you and then I can do another video, perhaps a haul or even just a video on the one product that I've got from Deciem, or from the Ordinary, and I'll tell you what that is. So the 3 products I've got are, I've got the Advanced Retinoid 2%, I've got the Hyaluronic Acid 2% plus B5, and I've got the Vitamin C Suspension 23%. So I've got some interesting thoughts on these products, I think. And I have you guys to thank for recommending these products because I had never heard of them. I know that a lot of you said Wayne Goss had talked about them and that you guys had tried them and you were all in love. I had so many recommendations, like literally about maybe 20 comments on different videos and whatnot saying, have you tried the Ordinary skincare? Can you do a review of them? And so I did go and put this order in, but I put this order in weeks and weeks ago. There was a problem with my address, which was part my fault, part their fault. It doesn't matter anyway, but I've eventually got this order, and like I said, I'm waiting for this other one. I emailed them about the mix-up with the address and they were very good, but I haven't heard anything else about this argan oil. I don't know if I've been charged for it. Argan oil is the 4th product that I'm waiting for. I don't know whether they have emailed me, and in fact I thought I saw that it was, oh, it's currently on pre-order only. Okay, so it doesn't come in until the end of the month. Okay, the first product I'm going to talk about is the one that I'm probably have the least feelings about. I would probably order it again and I think it's okay, and it is the Hyaluronic Acid 2% plus B5. You can see that I've used up to about there on it, and the idea of hyaluronic acid is that it brings moisture to the skin is the idea of it, and I think most people think that it's 100% effective for everybody. So that's what it looks like. It just looks like very thick water. That's what it looks like, that's what it feels like. It isn't sticky at all, there's no stickiness to it, it absorbs lovely. So it feels fine on the skin. I wouldn't say it feels lovely, it doesn't feel cooling or softening or anything like that when you put it on, it just feels okay. The idea with this is that you put it on underneath something, you put it on underneath a moisturizer, not just on its own. I've been using this every night since getting it, which was about a week and a half ago, something like that, maybe 2 weeks. And I've been using it underneath some serums that I've got, underneath an oil, underneath a night cream. I used it underneath my Hyaluronic Moisture Jelly, which is a very thick, it's like this but thicker. So that's the idea of it. But like I said, I think people believe that sodium hyaluronate is 100% good in your skincare, end of story, but it's a bit more complex than that, unfortunately. It will work to draw moisture to your skin, that's how it works. It is a magnet for moisture, but there needs to be moisture there in order for it to pull it to you. So if you have very low humidity, depending on the time of year, depending on the climate that you're in, depending on your skin type as it is, it could have an adverse effect because it could end up pulling moisture from your skin and making your skin feel dry, which is why some people are very surprised to find that they've got dry skin after using this. But like I say, if you've got, you know, the heating up high in your house, and of course it depends what type of house, how well insulated it is, all of that, and you've got very low humidity, then this may not work as well as it would if there was some moisture to pull from the air, if that makes any sense. So I just wanted to make that point that it's not one of those products that you can just add to your skincare and it will 100% work for you. It is something you need to have a think about. But as a hyaluronic acid, this is very, very nice. The ingredients are nice. In all of these skincare things that I've ordered, there is no alcohol, no fragrance, and yeah, the ingredients are good. It's exactly what they say, and I think the Ordinary is a really good name for the skincare brand because it's kind of basic, but it doesn't feel cheap. It's got good ingredients in it, so it's not they're not scrimping on anything, but there's no additives in them. They haven't added fragrance in, they haven't added alcohol in, and yeah, it's a pretty good product. The problem with this is that I don't have particularly dry skin, so I can't really even report how much of a difference this is making to my skin. I like to add in a hyaluronic acid when I'm using retinol and retinoid or any forms of those on my skin to combat any dryness. And sometimes I feel like I've got dehydrated skin, but coming into the winter, like I said, with me having the heating so high, I probably won't use as much of this, or I might use the rest of this bottle and then I wouldn't use any more. It's not an essential part of my regime, I have to say, but if you have got dry skin, then it may be worth giving this a try. And I didn't tell you the price, did I? I think it's £5.90, something like that. Where is it? Yeah, £5.90, which I think that is a brilliant price for that. Really, really good. So yes, I definitely recommend giving it a try, but just as I said, don't expect that it's the miracle worker. The product I'm talking about is the vitamin C suspension 23% plus HA spheres 2%, so that'll be hyaluronic acid. Interestingly, mine is in this bottle, but when you look on the website, it's now in a tube. I think I'm going to order that. It's £4.90, which I think is a great price for this, really good price. But this does get messy. I tidied it up this morning. I cleaned around here when I was using it, otherwise I would have showed you, but it's just one of those where all this gets all the way around here and it just becomes very, very messy. So I do think a tube will be much nicer to use, but they'd have to make it a little bit thicker, I think. I think if it was this thin, then it would come out too quickly of a tube like that. So I'd imagine they might have to put maybe a little bit more silica in it. I don't know how they're going to do that. Anyway, this is what it's like. It is a milky liquid. Did I tell you it was £4.90? Really, really good price, whether it's this or in a tube. And the first ingredient actually in this is ascorbic acid, so it's a really good form. It's the best form of vitamin C, so pretty impressive for the price. So you can see it goes on and it just goes on and dries clear, you know. Now, the first time I used this, I used too much. Typical me. Instead of just using a little bit when you're using a new product to see what it's like on the skin, how much you need, how your skin reacts, I used too much. I just squirted it, and I had some down there. I used too much. I rubbed it in and it felt like I was giving my skin an exfoliation. It felt like there was tiny salt granules throughout it. I didn't actually mind that though. That actually felt quite nice. And I put it down my neck, but bearing in mind that I think vitamin C is one you use in the morning, or I certainly put it in the morning in my skincare regime, and I think that makes sense because you're putting it on before your sunscreen. It helps your sunscreen be more effective. So I put it on, put my sunscreen on, and then I put my foundation on, and I instantly could see that I had that bobbling effect that you get. Now, this is a silicone-free formula. It actually says, let's see what the description says. A water-free, silicone-free, stable suspension of vitamin C and hyaluronic acid to brighten and protect against aging. So yeah, silicone-free. It does have silica in it, but silica and silicone are different. Silicone is a derivative of silica. And actually, when I say it has silica, it's not natural silica. It is a synthetic form of silica, I think, that is... So ignore me. It has no silicone in it. It's just in case you see silica in the ingredients. It doesn't have any silicone in it. So I have found that most vitamin C's do that bobbling effect on me. I've never found any way round that. Perhaps using a little bit less, and I've heard that waiting 5 minutes before putting your next product on top of the vitamin C, and maybe even waiting 5 minutes after if you're putting anything on before it or after your cleansing routine, might help. I've left a few minutes between. I don't really have time to wait 5 minutes, then wait another 5 minutes, you know. But anyway, what I did was I put my foundation on, then just got a cotton pad and sort of tried to get all the little rolls off because it doesn't look nice, and then it was absolutely fine. And so the next time I used it, I used a smaller amount, and I do still get that effect. I do still get that little, you know, bits of rolls of skin. It may be because I've got fake tan on. Maybe that's it, you know, sloughing off that. I don't know. But it's not something that bothers me. Like I said, I just used my, a clean cotton pad and was sort of like dusting them off, and then I put on another little bit of foundation where I'd taken some off, and it was absolutely fine. I don't feel, when I put it on my hand here, I don't feel that kind of exfoliation, which is really weird because I do, even using a little bit on my face, I do feel like, if I had to guess, I would say there were salt granules in there. which I don't feel at all on here. So I have no idea what that is, no idea why I can feel it on my skin. Let me have a look at the ingredients. I think I just looked, I can't see anything. Yeah, I can't see anything in it that would make it feel like that. And like I said, it doesn't feel like that on my hand, so it's very weird. But I really like this. I really enjoy using this. Let's see how much I've used. I think it's about the same as with the other one. In fact, all of them, I think they're about up to here. And like I said, I've been using them for a couple of weeks. So probably last you about 3 months, I would say, this bottle, maybe less, maybe 2 months, depending on how much you use. But yeah, I've really found that with this, I can feel a difference in my skin. Like, I put it on and my skin feels much smoother. And that's pretty impressive considering all the vitamin C's that I have tried. I've tried, you know, the Ulla Henriksen vitamin C serum. I've tried the Una Brennan one. What else? I've tried the Paula's Choice one. I've tried quite a few vitamin C, and it kind of put me off even including them in my regime because I didn't like the feel, probably because they had silicone in, not the Ulla Henriksen one, but other ones have had silicone in. Oh, the Indeed Labs one is the other one that felt very silicone-y. And I just didn't feel much of a difference on my skin, whereas with this, I feel like once I've put my moisturiser on and got rid of those little sort of crumbly bits, my skin feels really smooth and I can really feel a difference. So I have enjoyed that, and I would say I would repurchase this. At the moment, this is definitely a repurchase. I might even buy it today because it's, like I said, £4.90 is a really good price for it, and it's shown as being in a tube, which would be really interesting to me. So love that so far and would highly recommend that one. And the final product to talk about is the Advanced Retinoid 2%. So I was delighted to see this, but also quite surprised, because retinoid or retinoic acid or tretinoin or retin-A is very difficult for us to get in the UK, and the only real place you can get it is eBay if you're lucky. It's expensive. You don't know that it's the genuine article, but I have ordered it from there before, whether rightly or wrongly. I've ordered it from there before, and I believe it to be actually tretinoin cream. I get one from my doctor prescribed for my skin, but it's not got it's not tretinoin, it's prescribed for skin, not for anti-aging. So yeah, it's very difficult for us. I think even in the US you can get it from your dermatologist, but again, I don't think it's easy to get hold of. So I was surprised to see it at 2%, because even the one I bought from eBay was 0.05%, and I think the strongest you can buy is 0.1%. So to see Advanced Retinoid 2%, I thought, well, how strange, but I'll order it. It is a milky liquid like the vitamin C. It's not quite as clear, not quite as white, bright white a liquid, if you see that next to the other one. This is more of a dirty milky liquid. It feels lovely going on, and yeah, it felt lovely on my skin. I knew that it didn't have any alcohol or fragrance in. That's really the only thing I checked in the ingredients, because I wanted to buy a few things so that I could do a review for you guys, and then I thought I'll look into the ingredients at that point and tell you guys what my findings are and how it feels on the skin, etc. So it feels lovely. I haven't noticed any difference in my skin, and you wouldn't. The purpose of this is as a retinoid, then you're not going to notice a difference in your skin for, I would say, at least a month, but longer usually a couple of months, probably up to a year actually, if you're looking for anti-aging effects. It all depends on what you're looking to this ingredient for and what other ingredients are in the formula. But it's not something you could use for a couple of weeks and say that my skin felt better. I can say that it felt lovely going on. Anyway, so I used it for about 3 or 4 nights, and I was noticing that I had no irritation on my skin. So when I use my retinoid cream, my tretinoin cream, if I use it for 3 nights in a row, I would notice that I'd have flaking on my skin, and that would be my signal. That's the word I was thinking of. That's my signal to stop using it and leave my skin for a few days. But normally I remember, normally I only use it for a maximum of 2 nights, and then I stop using it for 2 nights, and then I might use it again. And so when this wasn't doing it, I was just a bit suspicious. So I went to have a look at the ingredients, and that's where I was surprised, because this is not retinoic acid. This is not retinoid as you would expect, or as we know. I've done a whole video on retinol versus retinoid, which I'll link for you, and that explains that retinol is a weaker version, basically, that will take a lot longer to give you any anti-aging effects, but it is proven. So it does have retinol in it. That's the first not the first ingredient, but that's the first retinoid type ingredient, is retinol, and that is a much weaker form, and like I said, that will take you at least 3 months before you see anything, a lot longer than any retinoid cream would, but you won't get the same level of irritation. But then it's got this ingredient, which is, where is it? Hydroxypinacolone retinoate, and that's, I read that and I thought, well, I've never heard of that. I would expect to see it to say retinoic acid. So I had a look up this ingredient, and it is a new type, well, it's an ester, which basically means it's not the same thing as a retinoic acid. So an ester is, for example, something that has something flavouring. So if it has strawberry flavour, if you read the ingredients and something said it has strawberry flavour, banana flavour, something like that, it could be an ester. It means that there is a compound that smells like banana or smells like strawberry, but it's nothing to do with strawberry. It is not a strawberry. It could be a tiny bit of the makeup of a banana that's been taken from it, or a strawberry, but it's not a banana. They haven't chopped up a banana and put it in to give it banana flavouring. They haven't chopped up a strawberry. It's just the flavouring, and they've created this compound. That's what an ester is. It's not, so this is an ester of retinoic acid. It is not retinoid, it's not tretinoin, it's not the retinoid that has been tested for anti-aging and proven. However, because it behaves like retinoic acid, and because it is an ester of retinoid, it is being claimed that it has the same anti-aging properties but without the irritation. So it sounds fantastic, you know, because one of the things that we all don't enjoy about putting tretinoin cream on or retinoid cream on is that it causes this peeling, and it's actually what you're supposed to do is use it in a small amount and fewer times than what makes your skin peel. But the process of a retinoid is that it causes cell turnover, and therefore helps with anti-aging and helps with the skin texture. And I don't see how this does it. And that doesn't mean that it doesn't, it just means that I don't understand that. But putting aside what I think, it's a new ingredient. They have only recently found this ester. They are selling it on the point of there's no irritation, but there is no research. There's actually not a lot of research on esters in general, but there is no research on this that shows that it is as effective as retinoic acid. Retinoic acid is the one that has had research done on it, and it is shown and known and proven to be an effective anti-aging ingredient. Whereas this one, like I said, it's a new find, it's a new ingredient, and it's an ester. So in my opinion, it's not, I don't want to use it because there's not enough known about it, and it's not the real deal. Funny enough, there are other things about this that actually concern me slightly, but I wouldn't repurchase this just on the fact that it's this new ingredient. And like I said, it doesn't mean that in 5 or 10 years, it might be that everybody uses this new ester of retinoic acid because it has been proven by then to have anti-aging properties, but it doesn't at the moment. So I'm not going to use something on my skin that's new that I don't know that works. I'm going to try and find an actual retinoic acid, but for that reason I wouldn't buy this again, and I don't know if I'll finish using it. I might use it like on my hands or something like that, but that aside, there's actually a couple of ingredients in it that there's 3 ingredients that I can see there. There's carrageenan, there is chlorphenicin, and there is benztrimonium chloride, and these are 3 ingredients that have some research around them showing that they could be an irritant. Now they're only animal research studies. There is nothing proven on any of those, and they're not ingredients that I would specifically avoid. They're not on my list. I would look and go, I'm not buying that. It would depend where they were on the list, etc. But in something that I'm putting on my skin, and 2 of those have concerns that they have irritation to eyes, I'm putting this around my eye area. So it's just, like I said, with those 3 ingredients being in there that could be irritants, plus the fact of the actual non-retinoic acid ingredient, it's not for me. But I think it's lovely going on. And I did see somebody comment, I don't know whether it was comments on my video or whether it was when I was looking to see what reviews were out there. There's not too many reviews, but most of the ones that are there are very complimentary. They almost seem to be advertising it. But I did see somebody talking about this retinoid product and saying that after 2 weeks her skin felt amazing. That's quite possible, but if it did, I would say it would be down to the glycerin. This has got glycerin in it, which is a nice moisturizer in a product, but something that, you know, you can find in a lot of products. But it's also got this thing called a mountain pepperberry. I've never heard of it, but it does seem to have skin conditioning properties, anti-inflammatory, so it may well be down to that. And I think that might, yeah, that's just after the Retinoid, the new Retinoid product that is in here, so it could be down to that. So I will leave that up to you guys to decide what you think. I'd be interested to know though, does that put you off it, or are you willing to give it a go because of the lack of irritation? I don't know, I just think, like I said, that at its most basic, whether you think this is like the real thing or not, the ingredient Retinoid, you need to use it consistently for years to make any difference. Do you really want to use something for years that there's no research that it works, to then find out that it doesn't work? Apologies, I don't like to be too one-sided when talking about things like this. I like it to just present you with the facts and then you can decide, and I feel like I'm sort of showing what my opinion is a little bit too much. Something else to point out, that since I've been using this skincare, I have had, they've gone now, but I had little lumps come up on my cheek here. And I'm only mentioning that briefly because I don't 100% know that it's from this skincare, because I have occasionally had these weird little lumps. They're not spots, they're just hard little bumps that come up and then go down again after a week or so. And really, if I was doing things properly, what I should have done is just taken one product and used it for even a couple of months and seen what happened to my skin, and then tried another one and then another one. But of course I'm not going to do that. I'm using all three at the same time, so it could have been from one of these products and I don't know which. I will of course watch out to see, especially now, if I don't use the retinoid, I'll just use that on my hands and go back to using my own retinoid, but I will use the vitamin C and I will use the hyaluronic acid. I'll see if any more of those lumps come up and I'll tell you about it in the other video that I do with the argan oil on. So my overall opinion is that I think it's a great company. I think I like the packaging. I think the ingredients are great, more or less, because they don't have, you know, they've taken out the unnecessaries, such as the added fragrance and the alcohol, but they are using innovative products, and there are some that are questionable, so maybe be aware of the ingredients. I think that they're great prices, and I think that Victoria Health is a good place to order from. I think it's the only place that we can order from in the UK. Like I said, I think it's a shame that I didn't get a notification saying that when the argan oil would be coming out to me. That's the only downside. I had to actually ask about that. I don't think there's anything else that I really would like to try from them. Maybe the Matrixyl, I'm not sure. I'm quite happy with the ingredients that I've got in my kind of skincare routine, if you like, and I don't want to complicate it too much by adding too many things in. I think that's everything there is to tell you. Let me know what you have bought from there, what you're enjoying, what you think, or what you intend to buy. And like I said, when I get the argan oil, I'll either do a video just on the argan oil and then update on the other things, or I'll include it in a haul. That's everything. I'll give you a quick rundown of what I've got on my face. I've got on the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation, which I am intending on doing a review for you because I've had so many requests. I just need to get all my thoughts together on it. I'm wearing the Anastasia Mario Artist palette, I think it's called, for this kind of dark smoky eye. Love that palette, really love it. I am intending on keeping it at the moment, but it's one of those palettes I've got a feeling I might end up selling it. I don't know, just because they're lovely, really buttery, like great. There's nothing bad to say about the palette. I love the colours, I love the consistency, but I don't think there's any colours. I've not come up with a look that I haven't already made from other palettes that I love just as much, if not more, if that makes sense. Anyway, that's that palette. I've got on the Urban Decay blush in Rapture. On my lips, I have got the Rimmel On My Gloss in Purr Glossy Cat, and I think that's everything. On my nails is CND Shellac Dark Lava. Love this colour. Yeah, that's everything. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.